Hi guys, it's Kat, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about food. I definitely have talked to nutritionists and doctors about how food could be affecting my migraines. I know that that can be a big trigger for a lot of people. So far, I haven't been able to nail it down as a trigger for me. We've talked about eliminating things to try and see if that helps. I will say, though, that I have not been very successful. So I'm very interested to see if any of you guys have been. I have tried twice now to eliminate sugar and dairy and soy. I think all three like at once. And that's a lot. I don't know if you guys know this, but soy's in everything. Also, I am a vegetarian. So soy is everything. Soy is not bad for you, but the way that we in America process it for eating kind of make it bad for you. Soy itself has a lot of estrogen, and the more soy you eat, the more hormones you are then putting into your body. So if you have too much soy, you're messing with those levels, and it can become unhealthy. And a lot of people have sensitivity to it. So soy is definitely something that I try not to eat a lot of, but if you eat anything processed, there's soy in it. I think it's kind of a preservative of types. So prepare your food the most you can. Y'all, I gotta be honest though, like I have chronic migraines. Like I'm not trying to be in the kitchen all day, but the best you can. Meal prep, that's key. Like meal prep, I have a couple crock pots so I can prep stuff and be good to go for like the week or so. Dairy is something that's a big topic. That for me is kind of not too hard. I'm a little lactose intolerant, so I don't drink milk. I don't like yogurt. I wish I did because it's good for you, but don't like it. Ice cream I eat sometimes, but really for me that's cheese. That's the hard thing to get rid of. But you can have goat cheese and feta. That tends to be okay when you're trying to be more dairy-free. The goat cheese and feta cheese goes with everything, so why not? And then sugar. Sugar is the enemy of all, right? But it's so good. That's another thing that if you eat too many processed foods, you're getting way more of it than you think. They just toss it in everything to make it taste better, right? And it works. But getting rid of sugar totally is really, really hard. Getting rid of soy and sugar and dairy is so difficult and so expensive. So I've tried it a couple times now. I think the longest I went was maybe 2 months. But then like as soon as I have a cheat meal to kind of test things out, like I feel better. It's probably like in my mind. I wouldn't doubt if it's like a placebo effect, but then I just give up. It's really hard when you don't see like what you want. Like at first you're like, I don't want to give this stuff up, but if it'll get rid of my migraines, let's do it. But then when you aren't seeing the results, it's so hard to keep up. It's really, really hard to keep that up. So I haven't gotten very far with it. I think I kind of don't know how much it's affecting me. I have not figured out what my triggers are. I know like sometimes when I work out or I'm stressed about something or my sleep pattern gets messed up, that'll affect it. But in terms of food, sugar, dairy, soy, I can't figure out if any of that is a trigger or not. So I continue eating the best that I can. And I would like to know if any of you guys have noticed triggers. I know caffeine is a big trigger as well. I luckily don't like coffee. I unfortunately am obsessed with Dr. Pepper. So I definitely have caffeine every day. It's also in Tylenol, Excedrin, and stuff like that. So you're going to get a little caffeine if you're taking any of those. But I think the point is to maintain a balance and not too much caffeine. And of course, if you get too much and then you get rid of it, you're going to get that caffeine withdrawal, which is a headache. So it's just important to monitor. I think the key to everything when we're talking about nutrition is monitoring and just maintaining healthy levels of everything. If you have too much sugar, yeah, it's going to affect you. If you have too much soy, that's going to affect you. So just kind of maintain a healthy balance and test things out. Like, I went all in and was like, let's get rid of soy and sugar and dairy. And that was a lot of work. That was a lot of money. You don't necessarily have to do that. If you say, hey, I want to cut down on some of these things, go with that and see what kind of meals you can make. Hey, I want to cut this out, and then I'll cut out something else later. Go for it, whatever works for you, and then make that the basis of your meals. But also, I think what's key, especially when you have chronic pain, is to enjoy life when you get it. If you're feeling good and you go out with friends and you've been good, give yourself a little treat. Like, don't punish yourself. Unless you do find out, like, hey, well, if I eat this, I'm going to have a migraine, then maybe don't. I know a lot of people drink wine and it gives them a headache. Maybe find a different drink, even though wine is one of the better ones for you, if you get the red wine with the antioxidants. But maybe drink something else, or don't drink. I know that's hard for a lot of people, but find what's right for you and do that.